Well, good morning everyone. We have the brand new Year 11 Season 1.3 patch notes in Rainbow Six Siege. This is our final major patch before Year 11 Season 2. Of course, we have the brand new Rainbow's Magic event coming tomorrow. This is our second refinement patch of the season, so similar to what happened in the 0.1 patch. This isn't a major balancing patch. They happen every 0.2 patch and then every season launch. So these are one of the smaller patches, but there is still some good stuff in here. So we'll start off with Caveira. As you can see, I'll zoom in a little bit there. They have increased the maximum duration of her silent step. So it's currently 15. It's currently 12. It is going up to 15 seconds. Now, because of this, that also means that the full recharge duration is also 15 seconds because, I mean, that's its maximum duration. You don't have to usually wait all 15 seconds as far as I'm aware for Cav, but that is if you want to get the maximum potential. So you can use her silent step for 3 more seconds than you currently can. We all know how it works in Siege. Every second matters. So yeah, a little buff for Cav. Kaid, this is massive because Kaid is one of the most meta operators in the game. They have buffed his Electroclaw by 0.5 seconds activation time. So it now activates after 3.5 seconds down from 4. That is massive if you're Kaid tricking a wall, you know, trying to stop that hard breacher. 0.5 seconds is a massive scale of time to increase his gadget. That just means that you can Kaid trick easier and potentially stop hard breaches. If you're not really a massive player in this game, 0.5 seconds might not sound crazy to you. But I know you're out there who play this game all the time and understand the value of Kaid. 0.5 seconds is mental. And there's not even a downside. They're just buffed Kaid. Like, okay, he's one of the most banned defenders, one of the most vital, and now his gadget deploys faster. That is a mental. That might actually be the biggest one here. Vigil, pretty much the exact same thing that they've done to Caveira. His gadget is now 15 seconds up from 12, the exact same duration. And then, of course, total refill, stumbling on my words, is also 15 seconds. So 3 more seconds on his gadget, literally the exact same duration as Cav now. So yeah, little refinement buff there. Warden as well, and we'll talk about Warden because he has a very similar one to Vigil. Just keep in mind, it does seem like we are in the dawn of an SMG-12 nerf because we have Dokubi getting a remaster next season, and now Vigil and Warden have both received buffs. Expect that SMG-12 to be nerfed soon because I feel like this is kind of like lowering the hit of that nerf. Which is 100% coming. So Vigil, we have 15 seconds. Sorry, Warden, we just talked about Vigil. It's 22 seconds now, up from 20. So he has 2 more extra seconds on his gadget. And of course, total refill time, 22 seconds as well to match that. Of course, you don't have to wait for those entire 22 seconds to use his gadget. That's if you want it to go to the maximum amount. So 22 seconds maximum for Warden, which is quite a lot. Like, if you're in the final 22 seconds of a round, activate his gadget, and you'll have it active for that entire final duration. Pretty useful. And again, Warden and Vigil buff, definitely getting that SMG-12 nerf quite soon. Zero has had a refinement buff. This isn't the one I wanted personally, but it is still quite a good one. I wanted it to be able to switch between the walls much faster when you deploy them. What they've actually done is reduce the refill time of his lasers on the actual cameras themselves. So not his launcher. When you actually deploy the cameras, the lasers will now refill after 12 seconds down from 15. So if I'm not wrong, that is a faster duration than Twitch's refill, which I think makes sense. I think Zero should refill his zaps way faster than Twitch. And honestly, I would actually like it to be even faster than 12 seconds. I still think Zero has quite a bit to go to overall improve him, but this is definitely a step in the right direction. Hopefully with the next major balancing patch or the next refinement patch, which we'll get in season 2.1, we get more Zero changes. I'd love his gadgets just to be more fluid. He definitely has a spot in the game, but I think a lot of us understand, like, I can kind of do his role a lot more efficiently with different operators. We usually have a bit of a better loadout as well, but it's a good start for Zero. So for this refinement patch, that is all like the operator specific ones. They have done a bunch of weapon balancing in this patch. Firstly, the AUG A2, one of the most disliked weapons in the game for IQ and Wamai. For both PC and console, they have reduced the vertical recoil on this weapon. This is what they say to improve sustained fire control and weapon consistency. Will people use this over the MP5K on Wamai and the, you know, Commando or LMG on IQ? Not necessarily. I still think this weapon is a bit less desirable, but who knows? Maybe, you know, this patch comes out today as far as I'm aware. So maybe we load this patch up and this weapon is a laser. And then maybe the Auge 2 actually becomes the desirable weapon. We'll have to test this later. I don't want to write it off just yet. I want to try this. But the Auge 2 may be a laser. We'll have to see how strong this weapon is once we load up this patch. Now, we also have the M762. I think that's how you pronounce it. That is Zophia's assault rifle, her primary assault rifle. This is only for PC. Now, I don't know what the weapon recoil is like on console. For me on PC, I think it's fine, but I understand people struggle with it. So what they've actually done is they've reduced horizontal recoil on her weapon, but this is only on PC. So this is not going to be for controller and console. Well, I guess if you're controller on PC, this will affect it, I think. I'm not sure actually how that works with all that stuff, but only on PC, this has reduced horizontal recoil. That is a good question, by the way. When they say PC, do they just mean if you're playing on a PC, or does it mean if you use mouse and keyboard? Because you have to remember, we're getting mouse and keyboard support on console next season, which will put you in PC lobbies. So, yeah, that's an interesting one. So, different recoil pattern for horizontal one for Zofia, so it's made it better on PC. But don't worry, console guys, you guys are getting this next one. This is for the Spear 308, which is Finka and Thunderbird's weapon. Not only will you have reduced first shot kick recoil, you also have reduced vertical recoil as well. I think that makes sense. I feel like the Spear is unnecessarily a bit kicky for... It's not got a high fire rate. Pretty cool weapon, but it's always not that desirable because of that reason. So yeah, improvement to the Spear, which is pretty exciting. So the Spear, the M762, and then the Auge 2 have all had recoil improvements. Should be easier to control. Again, Zophia's one is only for PC, but the rest is for console as well. And to top it all off, we of course have some bug fixes, which we will quickly run through. So for level design, there was a bug when entering landmark drill or target drill in Villa. The default defensive barriers are missing. I actually noticed that. I didn't know that was a bug. In the exterior of Oregon, players can go on the generator for an advantage line of sight. Wait. Is that the angle where you destroy the fan on the chair? Have they patched that? Wait, that's massive. I don't know if I like that or not. Huh. Wow, that's been a thing forever. Wait, really? Okay, I'll have to test that. If that is what I'm thinking of, they've just patched a major angle in construction. Huh. I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of like that existing. Wow. That is genuinely gone after so long. I think that's been there ever since Oregon got its rework. Back in Operation Void Edge. That is mental. When entering the yacht's second floor kitchen pantry, defenders are marked outside. Right, we have some operator fixes as well. The left directional pad button has 2 simultaneous functions when playing as Solid Snake. The frag grenade is also highlighted in the gadget HUD upon spawning as Solid Snake. When playing as Lion, do they have a Lion drone? Using the default model, his EE1D screen is blank. That's been fixed. Oryx's climb ability can be used alongside a proxy alarm, allowing him to use his weapon in situations he should not be able to. That was a bug? I wish I knew that. That would have been cool to... I mean, I don't exploit bugs, but that would have been cool to see. Using Azamu's Kiba barrier, operators can vault under the stairs in border. Okay, that's a good fix. Audio, when a fire extinguisher explodes, the sound effect is missing unless Ella or Zofia are in the game. That's an interesting one. User experiences, banned accounts can accept invites to custom lobbies. That's been fixed. Interesting. Players cannot navigate the shop tab after purchasing a Paragon and Elite Masterpiece bundle. Okay. Multiple operators load on top of each other when switching. No! They nerfed Solid Snake and Sam caressing each other. You may have seen that post I made, and it's like, if you switch between Dillfront and Core Siege, the 2 operators spawn together, and it looked like Snake was hugging Sam. Aw. And voice chat input sensitivity, title, and description are inaccurate. So again, this wasn't a major patch, but there are some major things in here. Kaid, I think, is the most substantial thing about this. But yeah, that's the Year 11 Season 1.3 patch notes. Our next patch notes video will be the Year 11 Season 2 full season and everything. Of course, I'm going to be in Salt Lake City at the Major, and I'll have all the content here and stuff like that. If you're going to the Major, my pins just arrived as well. They're actually so cool. I don't know where I put them. So if you're in Salt Lake, come up to me and I'll give you this pin. Very cool. Right, that's gonna do it. Appreciate you all. Much love. Hope you enjoyed the patch notes, and let me know your thoughts. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.